transforming lives as we love, serve, and remember who we are.
One heart, one mind,
one soul at a time.
Hello and welcome to the SLC Sunday Experience. I'm Paula Mandella, and this is Soul Light Connection, and we want you to know you're in the right place at the right time. Right, Ann?
That's right, just where you are meant to be. And we want you to sing along with us because we know and you know your soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. In the right place, I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome. Yeah, your soul is welcome. Our soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. Right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome. Oh, my soul is welcome. Oh, my soul is welcome. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome. I'm getting the message. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. Put your hands together. My soul is welcome here. Tell them about it, Larry. My soul is welcome here. 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 My soul is welcome. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome
Good morning, and welcome to the Spiritual Life Center experience that we bring to you wherever you might be on the planet today. We're grateful for your presence as we remind one another we are all interconnected. We are all one in the Spirit. We have people across the planet who view our services, and each week I like to acknowledge at least one of the places outside of the United States where people tune in to our program. And so today I'd like to acknowledge our friends in Thailand. Thank you for connecting with us, and know that you are blessed and a blessing to our planet. As we always do, we take a few moments to commune with the presence and the power and the love of pure spirit. So I invite you to join with me in prayer, which is the language of spirit, as we affirm the realization of that oneness with everyone across the globe, as well as the Spirit of the living God. Divine presence, we come into your government and your guidance. We allow ourselves to be open and receptive to all the qualities that you represent that are also within each and every one of us. And as we recognize and live out the qualities of love and peace and joy and wisdom and health and vitality and vigor. We begin to radiate from where we are all of these qualities so that we begin to be a magnet of attraction of even more of that in our life and in our world. So we're grateful to be the vessels and the vehicles and the instrumentalities of this presence as we all go forth, multiplying and amplifying the all good that is around us and within us. So it is, and so we let it be. Amen. Well, we're grateful and thankful that you are here with us today. And we're here to carry out our mission here at Spiritual Life Center, which is as follows. We transform lives as we love, serve, and remember. And we do so as we seek to live up and live out these 5 basic principles. God is absolute good and everywhere present. People are inherently good. Thoughts create our experiences. Prayer and meditation are how we connect with God, and we must take action.
I'm Reverend Deborah Phillips, and here's what's happening at SLC. This week on Discovering Spirit Within, I talk about finding your path. When we talk about finding your path, we usually think about that big life path thing, and this can be overwhelming. In this podcast, I posit the idea that the real path is a daily one. As you move through your day from one activity to a next, you are constantly finding your way, and it is this path that runs parallel and ultimately blends into your life path. Join me for hints on how to become more aware of your daily life path. Discovering Spirit Within premieres every Wednesday morning on your favorite podcast app. And today, from 11 a.m. to noon, the SLC Evolutionary Council hosts the Community Cooperative Town Hall via Zoom. The purpose of this town hall is to create space for your voice to be heard. It is your opportunity to ask questions about SLC's reopening phases, discover resources that serve you, find ways to get involved, and find out about any proposed changes at SLC. Everyone is welcome to attend, and the Zoom link is available on our website. For those of you who are new to our spiritual community, we invite you to attend our virtual community member info session on Sunday, May 2nd from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. Community membership is our way of honoring people new to our ministry and inviting you to deepen your own personal relationship with spiritual practice and engagement with our community and ministry. At this info session, participants learn more about SLC, its programs and services, as well as ways that individuals can forge deeper connections with the ministry and our mission to transform lives as we love, serve, and remember. The Q process has changed its name to the Art of Quantum Living, and we have a class coming up soon. Here's Elaine Laroa to give us all the details.
Hi, I'm Elaine Laroa, Spiritual Life Center's certified quantum living coach. Given our current state of affairs, it seems like we don't have much control over what's happening in our external world. But we do have control over our inner mental and emotional state, which governs how we relate to what's happening around us. Now more than ever is a heart-centered practice relevant that empowers us with the ability to be who we have come here to be in the midst of outer turmoil and stress. So it's my pleasure and my honor to introduce you to the Art of Quantum Living and its transformational 21-day quantum living process, formerly known as the Q process. The quantum living process weaves together the latest research emerging from neurobiology, developmental psychology, quantum theory, and heart science, as well as the wisdom of the world's mystical traditions and the power of myth, story, and shadow work, as one powerful path to one's personal transformation. So join me to learn quantum living awareness and techniques designed to reduce anxiety, raise self-awareness, increase your self-compassion, improve emotional resiliency, and increase your efficacy in meeting your own needs and taking authentic action that embodies positive change. Don't miss this opportunity to deepen your own transformative practice with the quantum living process, formerly known as the Q process, now in a new, totally revised online format.
Thank you, Elaine. The Art of Quantum Living training begins Wednesday, May 5th and ends on June 9th. You can get all the details about this training on our website. On Sunday, May 16th, from 1 p.m. to 2:30 p.m., the SLC Board of Trustees will host our annual meeting via Zoom. At this meeting, the trustees will update us on the well-being of SLC, our accomplishments during the year of COVID, and the future plans we have as we continue to build our co-creative community. Governing members will elect new trustees to fill the openings created by those who have termed out. We encourage everyone to attend to get in-depth insights into SLC. Remember, governing members can vote, so update your membership on our website today. Reverend Janee Marth is the director of the Youth and Family Ministry, and she's here to give us our monthly update.
Good morning, Spiritual Life Center. I'm Reverend Janee, and I, along with all of our Youth and Family Ministry, send a big hello and a warm hug. By the time this airs, we will have had our second in-person YOU meeting. Our first meeting was wonderful, and our teens really enjoyed coming together. They had a regular YOU meeting where they prayed and sang, created group agreements, and shared. We also had time to gather around the fire to roast marshmallows and laugh and connect. I think everyone enjoyed being together, and so we will make this meeting the fourth Friday of every month and are so happy to see our teen group growing. Our YOU Spring Rally is happening mid-May. We're planning to make that an in-person event as well, and I know they will thrive. Our YOU, Youth Ed, and Nursery volunteers are beginning to meet and plan for when we can be together again. If everything continues as it's going, we plan to start in-person youth services with our full opening the end of June. I can't tell you how much we're looking forward to being together again. I'll have more information about this in my next update next month. We want to thank you for your continued support. We love you and can't wait to see you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Reverend Janee. It's wonderful to hear that the YOUers were able to get together in person, and I'm sure there are good things coming for all of our young people very soon. We love to greet our newcomers. And while we cannot greet you in person, we want you to know that we are very happy that you are with us today as you walk your unique path. You can learn more about us by going to slcworld.org/connect. And when you fill out that online card, you can choose to receive our weekly message, find opportunities for connecting with our prayer chaplains and our online small groups. You can also ask to be notified of greater opportunities to connect with us virtually as we expand our online community. And speaking of connecting, you can find the details for all of the happenings at SLC by simply going to our website, slcworld.org. Thank you for joining us today. We are honored to be with you in the Spirit.
I'm gonna set it free, let things be. Let the thrill of life carry me, 'cause now I know I'm in the flow. I'm finally free, oh blessed be. I'm gonna set it free and let things be. Let the thrill of life carry me, 'cause now I know I'm in the flow. I'm finally free, oh blessed be. Life unfolds with grace and ease, endless possibilities. They're everywhere, they've always been, when I choose to let them in. I'm gonna set it free and let things be. Let the thrill of life carry me, 'cause now I know I'm in the flow. I'm finally free, oh blessed be. I'm gonna set it free and let things be. Let the thrill of life carry me, 'cause now I know I'm in the flow. I'm finally free, oh blessed be. I've outgrown those smaller dreams, the way they used to limit me. I make the space, invite love in, magic fills my life again. There's something bigger calling me to follow where my passion leads. Trust the flow, I don't need to know. I dance into the great unknown. I'm gonna let it be free, let things be. I'm gonna let the thrill of life carry me, 'cause now I know I'm in the flow. I'm finally free, oh blessed be. I'm gonna set it free and let things be. Let the thrill of life carry me, 'cause now I know I'm in the flow. I'm finally free, oh blessed be, 'cause now I know I'm in the flow. I'm finally free, oh blessed be. I'm finally free, yeah. You know I'm finally free. I'm gonna let it be.
At Spiritual Life Center, we affirm there is power in the spoken word. If it feels comfortable for you, I invite you to speak aloud our vision statement. Spiritual Life Center is a loving, vibrant family that welcomes home all people and accepts everyone, no exceptions. Weaving ancient spiritual traditions with emerging wisdom, we cultivate a spiritual deepening with the divine, each other, and our planet.
There may be walls that guilt and regret that held me down. So I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith, and I am kinder every moment, every day, and I'm more loving every moment, every day. I will surrender every moment, every day.
As we move into our time of meditation, let's breathe together. Breathing in and breathing out, feeling the vibration of that beautiful chant deep into your bones. Beauty vibrating in every cell. My mind is willing and my heart is open wide. I trust my instincts and let spirit be my guide. I vow to live a life that's real and true and free as I continue walking in this mystery. Breathe that in, feeling the truth of those words. With each breath, relaxing. With each breath, softening. Feeling your body and your mind joining with the rhythm of your breath, the rhythm of creation. Breathing in and breathing out. Surrendering into your highest good. Feel the warm embrace as you let go into the mystery, into the unknown, into God, immersed in the allness that you are. Your soul is comfortable in the unknown. It's our mind that can get a little nervous here. And so we lovingly welcome it into the stillness, inviting your mind to drop into your heart, your beautiful, powerful heart. Begin breathing through your heart, breathing in and breathing out. Just rest here for a moment and notice what's already here. This presence that's always here, waiting for us to slow down and become aware. Practicing the presence together like this, we become more and more in tune to what we are at depth, more able and willing to meet life from this awake, alive, loving presence that we are. Our lives are transformed through sincerity, truthfulness, love, and compassion. And we bring those qualities into our life, not because we should, but because it's our true nature to do so. We discover what truly feeds our soul and what makes life worth living. Loving ourselves, loving each other, loving our planet, loving. It's how we evolve and become and awaken. You are God's beloved, in whom God is well pleased. Breathe that in, deep into your belly, as we move into the silence. Open wide to receive the love of your Creator, the love of your God. In every face I see the face of God. As we go forth, God, let us remember who we are, knowing that our eyes are your eyes, that our ears are your ears, that our words are your words, that our mind is your mind, and our heart is your heart. Our hands are your hands, and our feet are your feet. Here we are, God. Love through us. And may each person we meet know you, God, through each one of us. And so it is. Amen.
Angry words and bitterness are slow to fade away. What happened to the dreams and hopes that we had yesterday? Mystic chords of memory that stir within our soul lead us to forgiveness so that we can be made whole. We are not enemies. There is no good in that. There are better angels that surround us all. And when we find a way through our differences, hear the better angels listen to their call. Hatred only breeds more hate and darkness in our hearts. May we find compassion in a world so torn apart. A symphony of what could be says this is where we start. We are not enemies. There is no good in that. There are better angels that surround us all. And when we find a way through all our differences, hear the better angels, listen to their call. Let our better angels be our guide. Yes, let our better angels walk beside. Can you catch us all? 'Cause we're just about to fall. Rise up and find better angels in us all. Yes, rise up, it's time. Oh, it's time. We are not enemies, and there is no good in that. There are better angels, they surround us all. And when we find a way through all our differences, hear the better angels, listen to their call. And we will find a
When you hear that song, Better Angels, unless you're absolutely comatose, you cannot help but feel something move through you. We could call it the whole Spirit of God, also known as the Holy Spirit. It's everywhere. It's everywhere present in its fullness. You know, sometimes we look at the world and see the belief in separation and see that sense of separation staring back right at us. And it appears real. We see it maybe in politics or in race relations, or we see the economic disparity sometimes, and sometimes we see it in religions or where people are from and create a sense of us versus them. And it seems like there is a buy-in to a value of separation from one another, or separation in time and space when that is not possible on the spiritual plane. You know, in truth, as it says in the Hebrew Bible, "Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one." One presence, one power, one reality, and that we're all interconnected. We indeed are one in the Spirit. No matter where we are, no matter what time we happen to be living in. It reminds me of a time over 20 years ago, I took my first trip to Ghana, West Africa. And while I was on the trip, one of the clear memories I have from that journey was my visit to what they call the slave castles and seeing and witnessing what they call the door of no return. The door was a portal through which the enslaved passed through after they were ripped from their families. They were then lowered into small boats and packed like cattle onto larger ships that were sitting further out into the ocean. And to go through the door of no return, it meant a final goodbye to the freedom that they knew and a horrifying journey across the sea. Needless to say, for me and many others who happened to be there at the time, it was an anguishing experience. Emotions ran the gamut. Some folks were angry and upset. Some had a feeling of despair and resignation. Others just had sadness overcome them. And still others had feelings that we couldn't even identify. But it was as if we could feel the presence, as if we could hear the echoes of the screams of the spirits of those human beings who went through that door of no return. And it left everyone present, including myself, in a silence. You know, after we had left there, we went with a group to the city of Accra to be part of Akan traditional naming ceremony. And this was facilitated by the chief elder of the village. And the elder of the village is kind of like the governing person, unofficially. He had a lot of respect. So at the end of the ceremony, the elder gave me my Ghanaian name, Kwame Tumase. And Kwame is the day of the week I was born, and Tumase is the name that honors the elders in the village. And when the ceremony ended, I was invited to the chief's palace. And during my conversation with the elder, I shared my experience earlier that day of being at the slave castles. And I let him know the emotions that all of us went through, at least I thought we all did, whenever we saw that door of no return. And interestingly, that elder chief gave me a perspective that caused me to view the experience in an entirely new way. He explained that time does not exist, and all life happens simultaneously, and life is interconnected, as we know. But he went on to say that means that the future life, or a future life, can influence a past life as well as the other way around, because there's a constant interaction between all lives. Our life influences other beings, whether past or future. And as a result, if we do something beneficial in this life, all people are affected. So that elder said to me and all those who were there that if you live your life with the highest possible energy, the highest positive energy, you will not only set in motion positive energy for the future generations, you will renew and replenish past lives. When you send positive energy from the present, your ancestors are freed up as well. And he went on to say that this is what is expected of you from those that came before you. This is why you are here. It is stored in your DNA, and you are here to see new possibilities. And he said, those who came before you went through what they did so that future generations will spread a new consciousness. When you do, then you will be liberated along the way. Needless to say, what he had to say at that moment blew my mind. He took the principle of oneness and interconnectedness to a whole different level. He let me know, he let all of us know for that matter, how much we put our values and our beliefs in only what we can see rather than the energy of spirit. An energy that is everywhere present in its fullness, past, present, and future. We're here to have a revolution of values of what we value. Mahatma Gandhi reminds us there really should not be any separation in any of our endeavors and the spiritual principle that we say we believe in. All that we do should be governed by our spiritual movement in life. And he wanted to say we're not talking about religiosity or dogma that often leads to I'm right, you're wrong kind of consciousness or belief systems. So very often people try to separate what they do from their religion, but what you do is your religion. What you do is what you believe. So how you and I treat people or how we move in the world is what we truly believe. And so in a revolution of values, we are reaching back. We're reaching back at a time in which there were indigenous cultures spanning thousands of years where the movement of God was never separated from any walk of life. So part of this revolution of values is to realize and live out our oneness and declare that if God is for us, there can be nothing against us. Yet at times we could look at our world and we may ask, if God is everywhere present at every point in space and time, why does there seem to be such a sense of and belief in separateness? Why is it being expressed and lived out in such a way? Because there's so much of an us versus them, not only in our country, but in our world. So here's the deal. When we accept on a deep level that everything is working together for our good, then in truth, with a capital T, there is no duality. Because we're living in a universe. There's only oneness that appears as two-ness in order for there to be movement of thought to be simulated in our three-dimensional world. That's what's happening. So remember the statement, if God is for you, nothing can be against you, even though it may seem to be. And we understand that, then we realize that the only reason there are what we call polarities of opposites in our human life, in this three-dimensional universe, is so that there is movement. Because whenever there's a void and a positive, and you place them together, something moves in the visible world. God's thought is complete. And it moves in this three-dimensional world, our human world, and it creates a pair of opposites. It's just the simulation of motion. But there really isn't any duality. There is no otherness. There is only God. There is only God. There is only God. An infinite power that is everywhere present cannot have an opposite. It cannot have something else. If God is everywhere totally and completely in His fullness, then there cannot be anything else. So when we convince ourselves of that truth, we will have nothing to resist because we will stop creating it. It won't be there. It just won't be there. So when we say, only God is here, we can say indefinitely that I am divinely supported, maintained, and sustained by the power and the presence and the love of God. I'm staying in tune with the Spirit of the living God. That becomes our affirmation because one with the infinite is a majority consciousness. In the song, Better Angels, we just heard that in there's a line that says, there are no enemies, and we are not enemies. The late Dr. Martin Luther King knew this. When he was advancing the cause of civil rights, his movement was resisted by a sheriff named Bull Connor. Bull Connor sicked dogs and ordered vicious attacks on peaceful protesters. And these protesters included small children, and he was using dogs and powerful fire hoses. And later on, Dr. King was asked, did he consider Bull Connor to be an evil enemy? And he said no. He said, I needed Bull Connor to help fulfill my purpose and advance my cause. In today's world, we're living in a time of accelerated change socially, technologically, and politically. Sometimes there's upheaval, not only in this country, but across the globe. But here's the thing. This change signals there's a sizable paradigm shift afoot. Despite appearances, there's good reason to believe we are moving from one stage of being to more an evolved one. We can co-create the results we want in our local communities, in our country, in the world, despite the resistance that we see and experience. And if we see it from the higher point of view, from the mystical point of view, we realize the resistance is part of the process. Dr. H. Emily Cady, in her classic text, Lessons in Truth, called it chemicalization. And simply, chemicalization is when there is a clash between an old idea, an old way of being, and an emerging paradigm. And when we understand this, we understand that sometimes external events serve as evolutionary triggers to stir things up and accelerate the manifestation of that higher state of consciousness. The evolutionary triggers wake us up from a state of complacency and move the process of evolution along a little bit more quickly. And the main ingredient, the most important ingredient to assure lasting transformational success is the energy of divine love. And we know that love is simply another name for God. Charles Philman, the co-founder of Unity, notes that love is the pure essence of the universe that harmoniously binds together the whole human family. If we are to rise above the divisive us versus them consciousness that appears to be pervasive in so many pockets of our world, that spiritual principle of divine love must underpin all that we do. The world is in need of individuals who are willing to transform our values and serve a grand spiritual idea, to serve the energy of divine love itself. Sure, we see reports today and we see the trials and tribulations that are going on. We witness beliefs in duality leading to tit for tat, where people say, you do this, I'll do that in return against you. It's that kind of consciousness that seems to be rising up from time to time. But at the same time, we also see individuals stand up and love regardless. We see people standing up and saying, I am not going to give in to the hate. I'm not going to give in to the malice. I'm not going to give in to the resentment. And they say, you may call me crazy if you want. I just happen to think everybody's my brother or sister. Well, I'm going to close today with just a few words from the Hebrew Bible. You know, it says in Isaiah, the 11th chapter and 6th verse, the wolf also shall dwell with the lamb. The leopard shall lie down with the kid, and the calf and the young lion and the fatling together. But most importantly, it says in that scriptural reference, and a little child shall lead them. Recently, I saw a video. In the video, the students and staff at an elementary school in Oklahoma showed the joy of honoring and realizing we indeed are part of one human spiritual family. And they were living out the value of oneness. The students and the staff lined the hallways of their school cheering the cafeteria manager, and her name was Janee Lopez. And Janee had just passed her test to become an American citizen. Mrs. Lopez had emigrated from Cuba and ended up in Houston, and then moved from Houston, Texas, to Oklahoma to find better opportunities in life. And passing the citizen test was the lifelong dream for Mrs. Lopez. And she said something to the effect, when I was a child, I had a dream like, say, Martin Luther King, right? My dream was to come here to a great place. And Mrs. Lopez passed the test along with her whole family, including her husband and 3 children, and they were aged from 17 to 28 years old. Every morning, habitually, Mrs. Lopez would walk into the office and proclaim to everyone there, "Good morning, ladies." And with a smile and a laugh, she always started her day with a positive message. She had an effect on many people. And the video shows that even though the country has gone through where people deemed from other places are demonized by some pockets of the population, there are many others who still have a lot of love in their heart for those who come from places other than where they are from. So the students and the staff, all of them, from the entire school, lined up along the walls of that particular school in the hallway. And they were cheering her name, chanting USA, after she had passed her test to become a citizen. And I think that demonstrates a wonderful example how children model what it means to not only honor but celebrate those who appear to be different, but they know deep down inside they come from the same stock. They may come from a different place. And those children lived out the statement as found in that Hebrew Bible, "Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one." And we are here to have a revolution of values where we move from duality. We move from a belief in separation. We believe that there's no longer any other. And we realize indeed we are one in the Spirit. Peace and blessings to you. Thank you for being part of our service today, in which we recognize that we live in a time ripe for a revolution of values, where we move from duality to living out oneness. Next Sunday, Reverend Deborah Phillips will be here to speak on how your biggest failures is your greatest success. You don't want to miss this. And remember, to join us for a virtual courtyard chat on Zoom at 10:15 Pacific Standard Time. Know that the link to the spiritual courtyard is in the description. So let's go meet there, and we'll be able to chat with friends and members of Spiritual Life Center. Right now is your opportunity to help Spiritual Life Center continue to provide these spiritual experiences, not only for you, but others who join in. But not only on Sunday, where we have our SLC Sunday experience, but our weekly podcasts, our prayer and meditation classes, as well as other transformational experiences that take place throughout the week. So I invite you to support Spiritual Life Center with your donation or gift, and to give what you can. It makes a difference and is highly appreciated. You can give by texting SLC Love to 44321. That's SLC Love to 44321. Or go to our website, slcworld.org, and click the Donate tab to give in other ways, including by mail. And if you find value in our services and want to help spread the word to others, depending upon what platform you may be viewing us from, please like, comment, and click subscribe. And more transformation will happen for those either locally or anywhere on our planet. So right now, let us join together as we say our offertory blessing together, or you can simply say it energetically or quietly to yourself. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. Thank you, God.
I don't mind if you've got something nice to say about me. I enjoy and accolade like the rest. And you could take my picture and hang it in a gallery of all the who and so-and-sos that used to be the best at such and such. It wouldn't matter much. I won't lie, it feels alright to see your name in lights. But we all need an attaboy or attagirl. But in the end I'd like to hang my hat on more besides the temporary trappings of this world. I wanna leave a legacy. How will they remember me? And did I choose to love? Did I point to you enough to leave a mark on things? I wanna leave an offering, a child of mercy and grace, who bless the name unapologetically. Leave that kind of legacy. I don't have to look that far or too long a while to make a lengthy list of all that I enjoy. It's an accumulating trinket and treasure pile, when moth and rust, thieves and such will soon enough destroy. I wanna leave a legacy. How will they remember me? Did I choose to love? Did I point to you enough to make a mark on things? I wanna leave an offering, a child of mercy and grace, who bless the name unapologetically. And leave that kind of legacy. Oh, not well traveled and not well read, not well-to-do or well-bred. I just want to hear instead, well done, good and faithful one. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I want to leave a legacy. How will they remember me? Did I choose to love? Did I point to you enough to leave a mark on things? I want to make an offering, a child of mercy and grace, who bless your name unapologetically. And leave that kind of legacy. I don't mind if you've got something nice to say about me. Not at all.
And now, let us join together and say our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, I am, and all is well.